Hey everybody, welcome back to Lemon Branch DIY. Today we are going to clean an ice maker. So I'm going to show you all the steps that you go through to clean an ice maker. It doesn't matter which ice maker you have, the steps, the idea is still the same. You're still going to want to use a cleaning agent, something's very specific for your ice machine. So stick with me and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so the particular model that I have is a KitchenAid. So this KitchenAid, it periodically needs to be cleaned. It's got a filter on it as well as it needs to be cleaned on the inside. So obviously with any kind of carbon filter, it only lasts for so many months and then it needs to be replaced. So today we're gonna show you how to do that. And then also what I really like is this A-Fresh ice machine cleaner. So this is kind of built for just your roundabout descaler, basically. It's like a descaling that'll help kind of break down the different components inside the ice maker. So there's a couple different ways or different brands that you can get, but I actually really like this A-Fresh, and I'll leave a link down below on what I'm using. The other thing is you can buy several different kinds of filters, and the filters will be different depending on the ice maker that you have. So you want to make sure that when you pull it out, just get the model number off of the ice maker or the filter so you can match it up on the exact filter that you need. So this is the particular filter that I'm going to be using today. And if you do happen to have a KitchenAid, I'll leave the links and description down below, and you'll be able to get the exact same filter. But it's pretty simple because any filter that you have, you'll be able to get online. Now, one thing that I do like about these, like if it's in Amazon, you can actually set up like subscribe and save. So it'll come every 6 months, every 3 months, whatever your ice maker requires. Mine's every 6 months. And so I just have this on a standing. It'll just show up every 6 months. So this is just, it's like $13, something like that. It's not very expensive, but it's just in my subscribe and save. When it shows up, it's really easy for me to keep track of when I have to do it because it just shows up every 6 months. Now, the other thing that's really cool is this thing here with the filters. Depending on the filter that you get, it's actually going to come in a one. You can buy them by 1 pack, or this one is actually a 3-pack. So I just barely got these ones. So I usually like to buy them in the 3-pack just because it's a little bit cheaper, and then I don't have to worry about it for a while. So I'm good to go for about 1.5 years right now with this particular setup. So without getting into too much more detail, let's take you to the ice maker, and I'm going to show you the first step of what I do, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Okay, so this is the KitchenAid that I have. It's just it's got the front door on it, and then as we open up the ice maker, you'll see that there's all the ice in there, and then there is a control panel right here that if we push it down like that, now this will give you like your power. You see the blinking lights right now. It's saying that cleaning is needed, and then I need to replace the filter. There's a button here for clean. There's also the max ice, and we'll get into why I like to use these two different buttons here in a minute. This right here is the actual filter. So the filter, it has, you can see that up on top, it's got a sticker to remind you when you actually installed it. Okay, the very first thing we want to do before we start emptying the ice is we want to turn off the machine. So like I said, it's just on the front panel of my ice maker. I'm just going to hit the power off, and now we can start emptying the ice out of the bin. I just like to fill up a big bowl of ice, and then we'll just go throw this in the fridge while we are waiting for the ice machine to actually clean, because it will take a couple hours for it to fill back up again. But you can see I've got half of it out now. This ice maker produces a lot of ice. I think it's like 90 pounds of ice a day or something. It's kind of crazy how fast it produces. Okay, so now that I've got it emptied, I got all the ice out of there. You can see that there is, there's just some different color residue from the different mineral deposits that just kind of collect in there over time. And so what we want to do now is I'm going to actually clean this whole thing out. And we can do a couple different things. We want to get the cleaning cycle started, and then while it's doing that, we can actually get started on cleaning the inside. So the very first thing we want to do is, in this ice maker, we have a couple different bins right here, there's a couple different things in here to look at. So the first thing we're gonna do is you gotta locate the drain. This is where the water comes in, and then down here, there's actually a drain right here, this plug right here. We want to undo this first and allow that to drain out. Hold on to the cap because we're going to need to put that back in just a second. Okay, so now that that is drained out, we just let all the water drain out, and then we're going to put the cap right back on. So we just screw that back on. You don't have to get it too tight, but just tight enough that it's back on. Now that we've got that drained, we're going to take the A-Fresh and we're going to put it right in the water pan, the entire contents of this bottle. Okay, after we get that poured in, this is a 16-ounce bottle, and so it needs 32 ounces of just regular water. So use this bottle and we're going to fill it up twice and dump the extra water, just clean water, up into the pan reservoir also. So we'll go ahead and get that filled up with the second thing of water. All right, so you can hear it starting to drain out. So that's your 32 ounces. That pan is full. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back out here and we're gonna activate the clean cycle. So once we've got the cleaning solution in there, we're gonna hit the clean button. So you just hit that, you don't push power, you just hit this. Now, that just activated the cleaner. So it's saying add cleaner, we just did the cleaner. Now this is gonna take a little bit of time for it to cycle through. Now what it's going to start doing is you're going to see it start going through a cycle, and you see that's just a little bit of a yellow color. That's a descaler. And so it's going to start cycling through, and all the internal pipes and different things that feed the ice maker are going to now get some of that calcium descaler kind of cleaned up. Okay, in order to replace the filter, they always give you one of these removal tools that come with the filter. It's really simple. It's got a groove on the end of it. It just fits right into the end of the filter, just like that. And that just gives you some leverage to just turn counterclockwise, and then the whole filter just rotates, and you can pull the whole thing right out. So there's the old filter, and now we'll just put in the brand new one. Okay, so one thing I do like about the filters, the new ones come, they're all, they've got the nice plastic around them, and they got the cap on it, so you can't get confused on which is the old one and then which is the new one. And in the box, it comes with stickers, like month stickers, so you can just put the month of when you replace it, so you can always remember. Like that one says August, so I'll know in 6 months that's when I actually replace this filter. Okay, so the new one's ready to go in. So we're just going to place it right back in the hole. And notice that there's grooves on this. They coincide with the grooves that are in there, so you can't screw it up. If it doesn't go in, you just kind of twist it until, oh, there it goes. You'll just fill it. So there's, like I said, there's these pegs here at the end, and they just have to line up with the groove. So once you line it up, it just goes right in. Now, you'll have to push a little bit on this, but this is why they give you the removal tool we're going to use again to push it in and turn clockwise. Then you'll feel it lock into place, and that's all you have to do the filter. It's pretty simple. With that tool, it makes it super easy. So you just want to make sure it's as tight as you can get it to the right. It'll be nice and flush with the outside of this panel. So it'll be nice and flush. It's now in there. You'll notice the light has gone off now. I've replaced the filter, so we've got that in there. It's ready to go. Now all we need to do is find the sticker, and we'll put the new sticker on. So this is what it looks like with the stickers. And so you just basically pull it off, and you can stick it right on the front of the filter, just like we did the other one. So I'll go ahead and pull off the sticker for the date that we have right now. I'll stick it on, and we'll move to the next part of the cleaning. Okay, so I've got the sticker in place. We're done with this front panel for now. I'm just gonna go ahead and shut that. And now we can start doing the cleaning on the inside. So now I like to just, while it's cleaning, I'll do everything on the inside to clean up as much as I can, get as much of the residue out of there so that it's nice and clean when the new ice starts to drop in there. So how I like to do it, and you can do it any way you want. I just found that this is the easiest because I just like these little Clorox wipes. I know that they are really, it kills pretty much anything that comes in its way. Plus, I like that it's just a pre-moist towelette, that you can just pull out of this thing. And I like to just take it, and then I'm just going to start rubbing it down with Clorox. Now, one thing that one thing that I do like to do, and you'll notice that I'm already getting it clean. All that yellow is already gone. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but as I start to do this, all of the like yellow spots and all of that starts to come out. Now I do realize that we are working with Clorox and different chemicals, right? So we can get this all nice and clean. But after we're done with this, we're gonna use the same bottle that we used earlier, and we're going to rinse everything down really good after. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this Clorox wipe, and I'm just going into everywhere that the ice is gonna touch. I'm gonna clean it up. That's what I like about these wipes, is I can get into pretty much everywhere, all the corners, and you'll see that there is a ton of junk down here from all the different minerals and different deposits that start to form on the bottom of this. So I just like to get it all, I just like to get everything nice and clean, and I'll go through and wipe down every single surface and scrub it nice and clean. Okay, so I love these bottles because after we're done with cleaning, we want to use the same bottle to rinse everything out. So you'll notice that the cap, I just flipped the cap open, it's got that little nozzle on it. That nozzle is perfect to give you like a little perfect squirt gun to get to some of those hard to reach places to clean all of the soap off. And we're just gonna rinse everything off really, really good. So there we have it all nice and clean. It's all rinsed out. Now all we have to do is, you'll see it and notice that it's still cleaning. This is gonna take at least 45 minutes to have it complete the whole cycle, but everything's nice and clean while we've been waiting for it. So now what we gotta do is just wait for this cycle to finish, and it's going to change, and I'll show you that here in a second. As soon as it's clean, it will give us an indication showing that it's clean. Okay, so the next thing, while that is doing its cleaning, I'm just gonna take this, and I like to just clean this with a mild soap also, just a little ice scooper. And I do this periodically. I don't wait every 6 months. We just clean this way more frequently. So we'll go ahead and clean that up. And this one I need to do a little small repair to. Okay, so this actually has a small crack that is starting to form. See if I can get it to focus on that. So you can see that little crack right there that's starting to form, and you don't notice it too much, other than when you have a full scoop, it kind of separates a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some super glue or Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to open that up and hurry and repair that, since we're not going to be using it for several hours. Okay, so you can see how that crack is really starting to separate if I pull it apart like that. So what I'm going to do is I really like this Gorilla Super Glue Gel. So I'm just going to use this Gorilla Super Glue Gel. I'll kind of separate it out a little bit. We'll pour some down and let it just kind of seal up. Okay, so basically while it's separated like that, I am just going to put a little bit of glue right into the crack like that. Nice, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and let go of that. We'll push it together. And I'm just going to let that sit. I'll hold it for, probably 25, 30 seconds to let it really set. And then that's all I'm going to do for that. That should have taken care of that crack. Okay, now that it's completed, you see that it says cleaning completed. So you know that it's now finished. But before we can turn it back on, what we have to do is that cleaning solution that's down inside here, we need to drain out that same drain cap that's right here. We're going to open it up. And we're going to let that all drain out one more time. We'll just do one final rinse out with this bottle. Now, one thing that I do recommend doing is, once you have done it once, hold on to that bottle, because then you'll get another one. And you'll need both of those. It's just so much easier to have two when you're starting to fill it up. Then if you do get a third one, just hold on to all of them, because during the cleaning process, it's so much easier to have a couple of these bottles, since it's already the right measurement of how much water you need. It's exactly the right measurement. So anyway, I recommend holding on to these bottles so that you can use it for the cleaning purposes. Okay, so now that everything is completely finished, we've got everything clean, the cleaning's complete. Now we're just gonna hit the button again, turn it on. Now this is where that max ice button that I talked about earlier comes in handy. You can have it on or you can have it off. I like to leave it on, especially right now, because now we want it to put out as much ice as it possibly can now that it's nice and clean. So we'll go ahead and shut that door, and then now in a little bit it's gonna kick in, activate. You'll start filling it full of water again, and it will begin the ice making process. So we'll just go ahead and shut the door and we should be good to go. Okay, I wanted to show you one more time, wanted to show you, if you are not sure what model of KitchenAid you have or what kind of ice maker you have, it's located on the inside panel, and you can see that that's the serial number and then the model number for my particular machine. So it's just found on the inside panel like that, and you can just reach in and take a picture of it if you're not sure. Okay, so it takes about an hour after you get it back on. It takes about an hour and the ice just starts to fall. So there you have it. That was a pretty simple process. It just takes a little bit of time and just kind of patience to get it all cleaned up, and then you just wait it out 45 minutes for the Fresh to do its job. I will leave a link down to these two products, and then also the Gorilla Glue that I like to use when I replaced repaired the scooper. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give us a like. Make sure you share this and leave us a comment, because that really does help our channel out, helps people find us, and hopefully that'll help other people just like it's helping you out. So thanks again for watching. We appreciate it, and we will see you on the next video.